Last week, I was putting together a training session called "The Pivot Table is Dead, Long Live the Formula." Now, we all know that pivot tables aren't dead, and nor are they likely to die. It's basically a look at how to create pivot table style summaries using formulas. And one of the demos uses the relatively new group by function, which I've covered in a previous video. It basically lets you create a pivot table style summary with a single formula. But there's one small problem. When you use functions like sum or average or count, Excel automatically uses those function names as the column headings, which doesn't look great. So in this video, I'll show you how to replace those default headings with your own custom titles. The result is a cleaner, more professional looking report. As usual, if you want to follow along, you can download a copy of the practice file from the link in the description below. So here's my data. It's sales of ice cream and it's stored in a table called sales. And here's a pivot table that I built to show total revenue and number of orders from each store. To change the headings in a pivot table, you simply edit the cells directly. So I could go to I1 and I could type store, and then I could go to J1 and type total revenue, and go to K1 and type number of orders. However, there are also disadvantages of using a pivot table to summarize data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the summary table by using the group by function in Excel, and I'm going to put it in M1. So I'll go to M1 and type equals group by open brackets. The first argument of that function defines which column I'm grouping by. So if I'm trying to replicate the pivot table, it would be the first column, which is store. So because store is in a table, I'm going to type the name of the table, which is sales, open square brackets, select store from the list of column headings, and close square brackets. Then put a comma. The second argument is the column that contains the values. Now in this case, it's not one column, but two. It's the revenue column and the quantity column. So what I need to do to combine those two columns together is use another function, the HSTACK function. The HSTACK function combines multiple columns and places them next to each other. So for the second argument of group by, I'll put HSTACK open brackets. The first column that I want is the revenue column. And again, that's in the sales table. So I'll put sales, square brackets, click on revenue, close square brackets. Then I need a comma, and that comma is separating the arguments or items within HSTACK. And then the second argument of HSTACK is going to be the quantity column. So again, that's coming from the table. So sales, open square brackets, select quantity, close square brackets, and then close the normal brackets to close off the HSTACK function, and put a comma because there's a third argument. Now the third argument of group by is the function that I want to use, and you can see the autocomplete pops up a list of functions. But in this case, I actually want to use two functions. I want to use sum on the revenue column and count on the quantity column. So again, I need to combine them with HSTACK. So for the third argument of group by, I'll put HSTACK open brackets, sum, comma, count, close brackets. And it's sum, comma, count, not count, comma, sum, because the sum is, as I said, referencing the revenue and the count is referencing the quantity. There are some optional arguments of group by, but I'll leave those. So I just need a closing bracket for group by and press enter. The problem, as you can see, is the headings. I can't just overtype those headings because they're part of the dynamic array that the group by function has generated. So if I went to M1 and I typed store, the whole array is overwritten. So let's undo that. And if I went into N1 and typed like total revenue, now I've got a spill error. So let's undo that. To add my own headings, I need to amend the formula. And what I'm going to do is use the VSTACK function. It's kind of opposite of HSTACK. Whereas HSTACK combines horizontally left to right, VSTACK combines vertically top to bottom. So I'm going to use the VSTACK function to combine multiple items vertically. And in this example, the items to combine are my own custom headings and the group by function. I want to put my custom headings there and then the result of the group by function here. So I'll go up to M1, edit the formula and put the VSTACK right at the beginning. So I'll put equals VSTACK open brackets. The first argument of the VSTACK is going to be the column headings that I want to include. So for this, I type an open curly bracket and then in double quotes, I'm going to type store, close double quotes, comma, and then again in double quotes, total revenue, close double quotes, comma, and then again in double quotes, number of pots, close double quotes, and close curly brackets. The curly brackets, or curly braces as some people call them, define what Excel calls an array constant. Think of an array constant as a list of values that lives directly inside a formula. Each value is separated by a comma. Now remember, I'm combining vertically the headings, which I've just defined, and the result of the group by. Each item being combined is an argument in the VSTACK function. So the first argument is the headings, and the second argument is the data, which is generated by group by. So I need a comma after that closing curly bracket. And then the second argument is already in there. It's the group by function. So I don't need to do anything else apart from put a closing bracket right at the very end. And that closes off the VSTACK function. And press enter. Okay, so we're nearly there. We've combined vertically the headings, which was a set of fixed text entries, and then the result of the group by function. But what I need to do is I need to remove the first row that's been generated by the group by function. And to do this, I'll use the drop function. Drop removes a number of rows. You define how many, and it removes them from the top of the array generated by the formula. So we actually have two arrays that have been stacked together vertically. MN01 is one array, and then M2 to O10 is a second array. And because it's the row with sum and count that needs to be removed, and because that row has been generated by group by, the drop function needs to be placed before group by, not before VSTACK. If I'd placed it before VSTACK, that would have removed row 1, which obviously I don't want to do. So I'll go and edit the formula again in M1, and immediately before group by, I'll type drop open brackets. As I said, I'm removing a row from the result of the group by function. So what I need to do now is I need to type a comma between the last two closing brackets. This is where it can be difficult to work out exactly where the comma is going, but the two brackets to the left of my cursor relate to the group by function and the HSTACK function. So I need a comma, and then I need to type a number 1. The reason I'm typing a number 1 is because I want to remove one row. Finally, I need to add another closing bracket to close the drop function. Press enter, and that is it. The final thing to do is just to make the columns a little bit wider. And there we go. Now, I can well imagine some people thinking, I'll just stick to pivot tables, it's quicker. And I totally get that. Creating the pivot table took about 10 clicks, and there's not a formula in sight. Whereas doing it the way I've just shown you required a fairly hefty multifunction formula. But if you bear in mind some of the limitations of pivot tables, things like you have to have the totals at the bottom. It's not easy to create a chart from one column of numbers when the pivot table contains multiple columns of numbers, and those are just a couple of things I've thought of. Then using Groupby provides a viable alternative. Anyway, I hope the video helped you out. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like more Excel tips and tricks, check out my website at theexceltrainer.co.uk. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have an excellent day.